Okay, so here we'll see first. Used to designate a value to a variable. Okay, we can assign any value to any variable by creating a new variable. Okay, so it can be used for different purposes such as the incrementing loop, addition, difference, multiplication, division variables. So you people have gone through this, so I'm not going to take the example of this assign activity here. So I'm going to move to the next activity directly, that is the delay activity. So delay activity is used to slow down the automation with specific time. Okay, so suppose you want to give some pause between the two activities which you have. Means suppose whenever we go for the further session where you will go for the open browser activity, and you want to perform some activities, but as it is a robot, so process will complete so fast that you will be unable to identify each steps or each activity, or you are unable to differentiate between these activities. So for that there are the delay activity. So to give the pause or some gap between execution of the two activities. So to write what is the format of the delay activity is like this is R, then you have to use colon, then minute, and then colon, and then we have to take this second. Okay, so here if you'll take one example, simple example, that write two messages to the output panel with a delay of 20 seconds. Okay, so here we have to do like we have to take the two message box we have to take, and in between these two message box we will give a delay of 20 seconds. Okay, so let's see this or create this activity. So for this activity you can choose, you have gone through all these workflows, that what is sequence, flowchart, state machine. So these are the basic ones, so I will choose sequence. Okay, if you want you can choose flowchart also. So I have given the name to this sequence as the delay. Okay. Now here I'll take one message box. So message box I can add it from here directly, or I can search from here activities panel also. Okay, so from here it is going, this is the message box. Just double click, my activity is entered here inside this sequence workflow. Okay, so here I'll simply write welcome, and then I'll take the delay activity. So here delay activity, and you have to go to the properties of the delay activity. Here right side you can see the properties of the activity delay. Now here we can see it is like we have to enter the duration. So the syntax to write the duration we have already seen, like this is for R, then I use the colon, then again this is for minute, again I'm going to use the colon, and I want to give the delay of 20 seconds. So you have to write the 20 here. Okay, so now just click. Now delay activity is ready, and after that I'll use one more message box. Simply I'm here writing welcome and then FTP. Okay, in between these two activities I have taken the delay of 20 seconds. So now I am going to debug the program. It is showing error now. No error is there. Okay, so now I am going to debug the program. So it is showing welcome. Now I click the OK button, and now it will take 20 seconds to come to this message box. Okay, 20-second delay I have provided between in these two activities. So we have to wait for 20 seconds. So here after 20 seconds the next message box pop up with the FTP, whatever I have written here. Okay, so this was the delay activity. You can also suppose instead of this message box I can also use the write line activity. I think this has also been covered the first session. So by what is the difference between the message box and the write line activity? That write line activity, the output of write line activity you will see here in the output panel. Here output console you will get the output. Okay, so here I'll write now dot. Now function is used for time. Okay, time and date. Now dot to short, and I want to short it by time. Okay, so now dot to short by time only. So here we will get time at the output, and then I will give the delay of 20 second or 10 second only, not 20 second, because it is taking a lot of time. So after that, again I'll use one write line activity, and again I'm going to use this now function. Now dot to short by time. Okay. So if you will use now function alone, so you will get both the things, the time and this time and date. But here, if you want to short it by only time, then you can go for this. Now I'm going to execute it. So execution started. Let me again execute this one. $39 for first one, then it should give delay of 10 seconds. The next time should be printed here. There is some issue. Okay, as I'm not printing, I'm here taking the changing the second, but here the time I have set only for the hour and minutes. That is why it is not showing the changes here. Okay, so for that we can so as I have not showing the second here, that is why it is not showing here in the output. But I think you people understand the use of this delay activity. Delay activity is used specifically to give the pause between the two activities, okay, which you want to give. So the next activity here we will cover is the if activity. So if activity is similar to like the if activity is used in the C language. Okay. So, yes, sir. We have to set the 1 minute. Otherwise, means 1 minute it will take a lot of time to complete the execution. That is why I have not shown taken that example. Okay. So here if activity is similar to the if activity used in the like C language. Okay. So if activity consists of a statement with the condition. Yes, sir. So if activity consists of a statement with two conditions, that is, if your condition is true, then it will run whatever you have written in case in the true box, and then if false, then you will write something to be get executed. Okay. So here, suppose we will take one example. Like example, check whether the sum of the any two numbers is less than 6 or not. So what we have to do for that? So for that, here I am going to take one flowchart. Okay, and I'll rename this one as activity. Now I'm going to take the, because here I want to take the input from the user. So for that I'll use the input dialog box activity. and make this one as a start node. Set as start node. Simply right click, you will get the last option like here from here, like set as start node. Okay. Here I'll write first number inside the double quotes. Enter first number. Okay, and the number entered by the user must be stored in a variable. So for that, here I'll create one variable, that is this is first number. Okay, now I want to add the second input dialog box to take the second number from the user. Inside the double quotes, here I'll write title as the second number and label as the please enter the second number. This must be also stored in variable. So I'll create one variable here also, second number. Now again go back to here, and now I'll take the if activity. This is the if activity. Okay. So now if you double click on the if activity, you will see from here that you have to write the condition first and then the else part. What you want to execute, you have to drop the activities here in the then and else part. Okay. So here what I want my number to be less than 6 or not. Okay. So for that, I'll do this. Firstly, the first number, then plus second number, and then less than 6 or not. Okay. Then here, if the condition is true, then what I want, I will use one message box here, and I'll write number is sum is less than 6. Okay. And if not, then again I'll take one message box. Sum is greater than 6. Okay, so whatever message you want, you can display here, or whatever activity you want to be run after your condition get true, so you can drop that activities. Okay, so if it is showing errors, so here we can do one more thing, like I'll take one assign activity. Just remove this connection. Connect it from here. Okay, I'll take one more variable from here, that is C variable or some variable I'll create, and the sum will be the sum of the first number plus the second number. Okay, and then connect this one here. Let's double click, and now I'll change the condition to okay here. check it the variable, sum variable. So here I am getting my sum variable which I just created. Sum is less than 6. Okay, the problem is like the variable type here I need to change it to integer. Okay, because I'm using the mathematical operations, so it needs to be changed. That is why it is showing error. Okay, just change the variable type to integer type. Now this is done. I'm going to debug it. So it is asking me to enter the first number. So suppose I'll enter the first number as 5 and the second number as 0. So here I'm getting the message as sum is less than 6. Okay. So now again we can debug, and so that we can get another message also. So here sum is greater than 6. Okay, so this is how you can create your workflows here by using the if activity. Okay, we will take one more example of the if activity, like so to find the odd and even number. So to take to find the odd and even number, simply what we have to do, we have to divide the number by 2, and if the remainder is 0, then my number will be an even number, otherwise the number will be an odd number. So new workflow I have taken flowchart. Okay, again I will take the input from the user. So for that I will take the input dialog box activity, set this one as a start node. Okay, write the title as enter number. Okay, please enter number, like this, and the value entered by the user should be stored in the variable. So here I created one variable with the name number. Okay, the next thing I want, like I will directly take the if activity, and this time we need to remember, like we have to change the variable type from integer to from string to integer. Okay, because we are going to perform some mathematical operation on this particular variable entered by the user. Okay, so here the number entered by the user, I'll take that variable and then I'll use the mod of 2, and it should be equal to 0 if it is true. So again I'll take the message box activity, and here I'll write number is an even number. Okay, and here is the odd number. Okay, so this is done. Now let's debug it. So suppose I'm going to enter this one as 15. So 15 is an odd number, and here I'm getting the output as the odd number. So what we have taken here, like firstly we have taken the one flowchart. Okay, you can go with the sequence also, whatever you want. You can take that flowchart, that workflow. Okay, and after that I'm taking the input from the user. So for that I have taken one input dialog box activity. Okay, and the number entered by user has been stored in a variable, that is number variable I created, and it is of integer type. Okay, so and after that I have taken the if activity, and here I have written the condition that number mod 2 equal to 0. If it is 0, so my number is an even number. If it is not, then my number is an odd number. Okay, so again I'm going to debug it, and I'm going to try this one with the even number. So suppose I'm entering here as a 20, so number is an even number. Okay. So the next activity in the if part only, we'll take one more. Like create a simple student mark sheet. Like here we are going to take this activity like how to take means create the nested if loop. So I'll take the flowchart and write this one as mark sheet. Here I'll take two input dialog box. So the first input dialog box I'll take the student should enter his or her name. Okay. So for name, and the second input dialog box I'll take to write the marks scored by that particular student. Okay. So just click here. I have written title as name and enter your name. Okay. Now create one variable, name variable, so that value gets stored here. After that, I'll take one more input dialog box. Okay. Just connect this one and then marks. Okay. Enter your marks. And it should also store somewhere in any variable. So marks variable I have created. Now go back again and then take the if activity. Just connect it and write the condition. Suppose the first condition I take the marks greater than 85. Okay. So now I'll display here. Firstly, I take the name, means name entered by the user, whatever name he will enter. So name, then I'll write take plus concatenate got grade A. Okay. And if this is not, then I'll take here, I want to add one more if activity. So that I can go for the grade B, grade C like this. Okay. So again, you can take one more if activity and drop it here inside the else part. Okay. And now I'll write here the marks is greater than suppose 70. Okay. And again, if it is true, then I want the name to be displayed. Okay. Name to be displayed and got grade B. Similar manner, we will take one more if activity and here I'll write marks I want to check it from here. So marks greater than 70. This time I'll take this one as marks greater than 50. Okay. No, marks has not been decided as array. Marks I have taken this one simply as an integer. It should be. Here I'll take the one message box. Again, the name variable. I'll take plus got grade C. The last if activity I'll take here. And here I'll write marks greater than 40 So here I will display the name of the student and then plus got grade D, and the else part I'll take again one message box, unable to qualify again, it's not qualified. So name plus here I write this one as not qualified. So this was our activity. So here this is basically known as the nested if loop. Okay, so a loop inside a loop is nested if loop. So you can add the loops inside the else part also. I'll just show mirror. I don't know where I was there. Now go back again here. So we have added two input dialog box. The first one is for the name. The second one is for the marks entered, marks scored by the student, and then I have taken the if activity. Okay. So let's debug this one. And suppose here I'll write this one as Rohit. Okay. And now I'll enter the marks of Rohit as 95. So Rohit got grade A. Okay. So this has been displayed. Suppose I'll take some marks. Again it is asking for the name. So here it is Neha. And the marks entered, suppose I'll write here as 30. Okay. So Neha not qualified. Neha it is showing here because I have taken the name variable with every message box. So name, whatever name entered will get added with this this one. Okay. Got grade A, got grade B, whatever you will write as a string. Okay. So this is how you can create the mark sheet of a students. Okay. So anyone having any problem in this activity? Okay. So here one option is also available, like in the C language. Before starting your program, you want to write something about your program. Okay. So how can we do so here? So here we are having one option of the annotation. So simply click here and just write the add annotation. So add annotation, you will write, suppose here I will write this input dialog box. I'm going to use it for the student's name. Okay. So this has been added here. Okay, student's name. And also you can change the name of this input dialog box. Like here it is showing the input dialog box. You can change this name also, so that whenever you are developing a program, so you will be able to identify each and every block. Like here as it is showing input dialog box. So you are like it is a small program, so you are able to identify. But in case if you are developing a big program, so what you will be unable to identify that which input dialog box I'm going to use for what purpose. So for that you can change the name from here directly from the display part also. Display name. Now I will change this one to name. So you can see here it has been changed to name. Okay. So same thing you can do for each and every activity. Okay. And suppose if you are having some activities which you don't want to use. Okay. Suppose I don't want to use this activity. Okay. So here the option is like disable this particular activity. Now if I debug this particular program, so you can see it is not asking me to enter the name. Okay, because that activity has been commented now. So suppose now if I enter my marks as 60, so got grade C, and you can see here no name has been displayed along with this, because this activity is now been commented and means being not used in this particular program. So nothing has been stored in the name variable which I created. So it is simply not showing the name, only showing the whatever string value string we have entered in the message box. Okay. And to enable it, you can directly use the control D and control A activity also. So now if I enable this, so now we can use this activity. Okay. So this was the annotation and the enable and disable, how you can enable and disable the activities. So this was the if activity which we have covered. Now we'll cover the while activity. While activity is used in the automation to execute a statement or process based on the certain condition. Okay, and if your condition is found true, the loop is executed. That is the process being executed repeatedly. Okay, till your condition get true, and as the condition will get false, so it will exit out of exit the loop. Okay, so for this, we will take the example. Suppose here the example is we will see how an integer variable will increase from 5 to 50 in increments of the 5. Okay, so for that, what we have to do? Here, I'm going to take the new sequence. This is for while activity. Just create this. So what is our main purpose here? Like here we have to take integer variable will increase from 5 to 50 in increments of the 5. So means initially we have to take some variable and assign its default value as 5, and it should get increases till 50 and the increment by 5. So for that, what we need to do? So we have created one sequence. Now after that, create an integer type variable, and we need to set its value, its default value as. So directly we can create for this while loop. Okay, here I'll create one variable x, and its variable type I need to change to integer. Okay, scope is complete sequence. Now I'll set this default value as 5. Okay, so my variable has been created. Now I'll take one while activity. So here the while activity. So you can see you need to write the condition, and here in the body part you have to write whatever you want to be get executed. Okay, so body part, my x should be get incremented till 50. Okay, so condition I have entered less than equal to, because I want to print the 50. Okay, now the next part, it should be get incremented by 5. So to get increment the variable, what we have to take the assign activity. Okay, so here we will take the assign activity, the body part of the while loop, and I need to increment this x by x plus 5. Okay, after that, where you want to print this one, it has not been given. So here we will simply take the right line to display here, to take the output here in the output panel. Okay, so I'll take the right line activity. Now it has been added. What I want to print here in the output, value of x dot to string. Okay, so this is done. So what we have done here, we have taken simply the sequence. You can identify the sequence flowchart by the seeing the sign from here. So this is the sign of sequence. Okay, so firstly I have created one variable x, okay, and set its default value as 5. After that, I have taken the while activity, written the condition, and then the body part, I have taken the assign activity to increment my variable x by 5 every time. Okay, and after that, next to this, I have taken the right line activity to get output here in the output panel. Instead of this, you can take the message box activity or also. Okay, so I'll back this one. So the output here I am getting till 55. Okay, so now actually the default value was my default value was 5, so automatically it get incremented to 10. Okay, suppose I want it to be started with 5, so my default value should be 0. Okay, so here as I have written it as 5, so here I am getting the output as 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, and this get incremented till 55. Okay, because when it executed, my condition got true, so my loop gets executed. Okay, so this was the while activity that you can use. Okay, here I think I have added one more example of while activity. So here also create an automation that increment an integer variable will increase from 10 to 100 and write. Okay, so here basically what change we are going to do, whatever like output I was getting here in the output console. Okay, so now I want to write this output not here in the output console. I want to write somewhere in any notepad file. So for that, what activity we have to take? So I'm going to take the same activity. Okay, and make this default value as 0. Going to remove this write line activity because now I don't want to write my output here in the output console panel, but instead of this I want to write my output in the notepad. Okay, so for that there is one activity, that is append line activity. Append line activity. Okay, so this is the activity which is present inside the file. Okay, so here the text part and you will get the write to file name. So write to file name, suppose your file is inside the project folder, like your file is present here inside the document UI path, and if your file is present here, so you need not to write the complete path, you can simply write the name of your file directly inside the double quotes. Okay, suppose your file name is notepad, so you can directly write notepad.txt. Okay, this way you can write. But suppose your file is not present in the notepad, your file is not present inside the project folder, and I want to create some new file. So suppose now I want to create my file here in the desktop panel, and I'll create this one as ftp.txt. Okay, because to write in the notepad, .txt extension will be used. So save. So it has taken the whole path. Okay. Now the text part you have to write this, because the what I want to write inside this particular notepad sheet you have to write here. So I want to write this x. So I'll write this one as x dot to string. Okay. So this was the append line activity one. The rest of the other things will remain same. Simply you have to take the append line activity here. Okay, so what append line activity will do? Let's firstly debug this program, then I'll tell you. So execution started and it gets completed. Now check for the, yeah, here it has been created. Earlier it was not. So you can see the numbers has been written here, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and all the numbers have been written. Suppose if I again execute the same thing, means so same program gets executed again. So as I am using the append line activity, so what it will do, it will add the data in that particular file again. So as it was not closed. So you can see the next data, means when I executed it again, so my data get added here again. So this is 5, 10, 15, 20. So this was the append activity. So means the data will get added and it will not remove the previously present data here. And if you will write one more activity is here, like write this is not right. This is the write text file activity. Okay, so what it will do, suppose, okay, I'll take the same . same txt file which I created just now, the FTP one. This is the ftp.txt. And now I am going to disable this particular activity. And here I want to write the text.toString. So it will override, means like whatever your data will be present, we'll get, I think we'll get only the last number. Okay, so let's wait to it. Now you can see here whole data has been means removed, only I am getting the last number. So it is simply removing and overwriting the another number. So firstly it may have written 5, then removed, then 10, then 15. So this was the difference between the write text file activity and the append line activity. So append line activity, what simply will do, it will add the data in your text file or doc file, whatever file you will use, will not remove the data present in that particular file. But what write text file activity will do, write text file activity simply overwrite on the data. Okay, means it will remove the previously present data in your text file. Okay, so I think you people are able to perform this particular activity. Okay. So suppose in the same manner here I have taken the .txt file. So my data has been written in the notepad. Suppose you want to write in the Word, then you can go for the like fdp dot doc file. Okay. And now if I debug the program, okay, sorry, I have not disabled the activity. So enable this one. Okay, now we will get the output. Execution completed. Now let's check here. This the FTP. New file has been created, Word file. So you can see my data has been added to the Word file. Okay. So this is how you can add your data in the Word notepad and Word file. So we have completed this particular activity. Now we will go for the do while activity. So what is the basic difference between the while activity and do while activity? So do while firstly check the condition, and if your condition gets true, then only it will go to the body part and execute the means whatever steps you have added in the body part will get executed. But in case of the do while activity, it will firstly go to the body part and execute the means activities which are present inside the body part, and after that it will check the condition whether the condition is true or false. The basic difference, in case of the do while activity, once the means execution of the body part will be done. Okay, so we go from here, like used in the automation when it is required to execute a statement based on the fulfillment of a certain condition. It is how it is different from the while activity. It execute a statement, then check whether the condition is fulfilled or not. If condition is not fulfilled, then it will exit the loop. While in case of the while activity, it will firstly check the condition, and if it is true, then only it allow to go into the body part. Okay, and execute the condition. So here we will take the example, like take integer variable starting with this variable, we shall generate all the multiple of 2 less than 20. Okay, so this is the same like which we have taken in case of the while activity. Do while activity. Click on the create option. Okay, so what basically we have to do here, we have to take an integer variable starting with this variable, as we shall start and add multiple of the 20 2, and it should be less than 20. Okay, so we will firstly take the do while activity. So this is the do while activity. Firstly we have to add the body part, and then we will go for the condition. So here again I will create one variable x, and it should be of variable type integer. Okay, and scope will be whole sequence, and I will write this value as 0. Now body part, what I'll do, I'll take one assign activity. Okay, and here in the assign activity I'll write this one x and x plus 1. Okay. And then I'll take the right line activity. Right line activity to write the output in the output console. Now after this I'll write the condition x less than 1. Let's debug this one. So you can see here the output in the output panel is we have received the multiple of 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. This is 2, 4, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 20. Okay. So this was the do while loop. Suppose I will take one more example related to the leap year. So to check whether the particular year entered by the user is a leap year or not. Okay, so I create one sequence, and this is for the leap year. Just create it. Now I want the year to be entered by the user. So for that I'll take one input dialog box activity. And here I'll write the label part, please enter year in this format. Okay. So this is the format, and it should be stored in some variable, and variable is year. Okay, so this is done. Now the next thing, I'll take the do while activity, and here in the body part I'll take the if condition. Here I have taken the if condition, and I'll write the year. Okay, year mod of 4. If the value is 0, so year entered is a leap year, otherwise it is not. And okay, I need to change the variable type from string to integer one. Message box, then part. So here I'll write leap year, and the condition is not true, then I'll write here as the not a leap year. Okay. So this is done. Now here the condition part, I'll add the year. If year equal to like year mod 4 equal to if 0. Okay. So now I am going to debug it. So it is asking me to enter the year. So suppose I am entering the year as 2013. Okay. So as 2013 is not a leap year, so here I went to this particular step, that else part, not a leap year. Now the condition entered by me is a like if like the year mod 4 year mod 4 equal to 0. So as my this condition was not true, so execution came out of the loop. Okay. So suppose again I am going to debug the program and I'll enter a year which is a leap year. Okay, so suppose I'll enter this one as 2016. So it is a leap year. So if it is a leap year, so my condition is true. So again it will go to the body part and execute it. Okay, one more thing. Actually I have added the, let me stop the execution. Actually I have added this input dialog box activity, okay, outside the do while loop. So I'll add this one here in the body part only. Okay, so that it will again ask the user to enter the year. So now I'm going to enter the year as 2016. So as it is a leap year, so my condition is true, and it will again ask the user to enter the enter the year. Suppose I again enter 2012. This one is a leap year, so again ask the user to enter the year. Means the condition till the point condition get true, so it will again and again go into the body part and execute whatever activities you have added inside the body part. Okay. So now if I enter this as 2015, it is not a leap year, so execution will come out of the this do while part. Okay. So this was the do while activity. Okay. So the next we have to cover is so here it is asking to create an automation, the increment an integer variable from 0 to 10 and display a message every time it gets incremented. Okay, so for this we will take the same activity, or we can this particular activity which we have done just before the leap year activity. Okay, so here what we have done, we have directly taken one do while activity, and here I have added the taken the inside the body part I have added the assign activity. Okay, so simply this example, what it wants to be done, like create an automation, the increment an integer variable from 0 to 10. So suppose I'll go for this example only, like so means get incremented in the multiple of 2, but before getting incremented one message box should pop up, and when I'll click OK, then the next number will come. Okay, so for that, after the write line activity which we added here, we can simply take one message box activity. Okay, and I'll write this as I want to display the number in the message box also. So this is what we have added. Okay, now just debug this one. So now you can see 2 has been printed. Now one message box get pop up, and when I enter press OK here, so the next number gets pop up again. This is 6, this one is 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 and 20. That's it. Okay, so this was this particular activity. Okay, so here display a message box every time it gets incremented. Okay, so simply we need not to do anything else. Simply we have to add the add the message box activity after the write line activity. Okay. Now we will go for the switch activity. So switch activity, it can be used to make a choice out of the multiple options. Okay, so by default the switch activity take an integer argument. If we want to take a desired argument, then we can change it from the properties panel of the type argument list. So let's take one example of the switch activity. I have taken one sequence and suppose I'll take one message box here simply because I want to tell you something. Like till now, if I want to display welcome to FTP or welcome to Nilate. Okay, so this I want to display. And now I want something to be, and if I debug this program, so my message will get displayed in this manner. What I want before this welcome, I want to add like hi, and then I want to concatenate this one. And if I debug this one, this particular activity, even though I will get whole output in the single line, hi, welcome to Nilate. But what I want it should be the welcome to Nilate should be typed in the next line. So for that, we have one option, that is one function, that is environment dot new line. Okay, whenever you will use this environment dot new line, so whatever next string or whatever you want to display after new line will get start from the new line. So let's debug this one. Now you can see hi and welcome to Nilate is coming to the new line. It is simply as the /n used in the C language to print the output from the next line. Okay, so this was the environment dot new line function. I covered this one because I'm going to take. So here we are going to learn about the switch activity. So switch activity, that we have also seen that you have multiple choices, and out of the multiple choices you want to take any one of these, and when you choose some particular option, so based on that particular option an activity must be assigned and that activity should be get executed. Okay, so suppose here I'll take one input dialog box. This is the input dialog box. Okay, and here I'll write the choices. Okay, and here I'll start with the inside the double quote. I'll write please select the choice. Okay, and after that what I want, now my option should start from the new line. So for that I'll take the activity as environment dot new line. This I have taken. Inside the double quotes I'll write one for Sunday. Okay, and then plus environment dot new line, then select 2 for Sunday, 2 for Monday. Again plus I'll take 3 choices, environment dot new line, Let's cell for user. This is done, and the choice entered by the user must be stored somewhere. So I'll create one variable as choice. Something like this, one variable has been created. After that, what I'll do, I'll take one switch activity. So this switch activity I'll take. You have to write the expression. So expression means like from where you are getting the data. So expression, I'm getting the data from this particular choices made by the user. Now you will get the option of the default. If suppose I have provided 3 choices to the user, one for Sunday, Monday, and means one for Sunday, 2 for Monday, and 3 for Tuesday. Okay. So if user will select from these options 1, 2, 3, so I'll execute something, and if the choices entered by the user is other than these 1, 2, 3 values, then what should happen? So that will be executed in the default part. So here the default, and you can see the option of add an activity. So when I click on the add activity, so here default part, we need to drop one activity. We need to drop this one here. Something I'll write invalid choice, invalid option, something like this I have written here. Okay. Now add a new case. So new case, if suppose he has chosen value as 1, where for this is for the Sunday. Okay, and now I need to drop the activity here. Here I'll write it's Sunday. Again for case 2, and we need to add the activity. I have taken a message box. It's Monday today. Get ready for office. Okay. Add a new case. 3 choices I have created. So that is where is the third one. And add an activity. Here. And then I'll write something. That's Tuesday today. Okay. This is options which I have provided here. Okay. So by default, you can see here by default it is the type argument is integer type. Okay. So that is why here the blue or this visual sign indicates that here some error is present. So I'm going to change this one to integer. So now error has been removed. Or if you want your choices means type argument to be changed, so you have option, you can change it from here. Okay, so I am going to make it as the integer one only. So let's debug this one. So now you can see, please select the choice, one for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So suppose I go for the one, this is Sunday. So here I'm getting the output as it's a Sunday today. Okay, and the execution completed. Okay, because the case 1 is when user enter 1 as the value, so I have dropped the activity, one message box activity has been dropped, and I have written there as the it's Sunday today. Okay, so same has been displayed. Suppose I'm going to debug the program and I'll enter choices other than these 3. So suppose here I'll write something at 5. So you can see default options get default one gets executed. And here in the message box, I have written this one as the invalid option. Okay, so this was, and this is done, and this was the switch activity. Okay, we have one option of the switch activity, and another one is as the flow switch activity. So, but one limitation with the flow switch activity is this, that this flow switch activity can be used only with the flow chart. Okay, you cannot use the flow switch activity with the sequence. So here I'll take one flow chart. This is the flow switch activity. And from here, I need to copy this one. And I'll paste this one here. Make this one as a start node. And we need to, when we copy it from there, so you can see here it is showing an error, because whenever you are copying, so you should take care of the variables, as this variable has been created here, but this variable is not present here, so that is why it is showing error. So I'll create this variable. This one is the process. Okay. Now I'll add the flow switch activity. Earlier I have gone for the switch activity, and flow decision activity has already been covered by the sir. Okay, in the afternoon session it has been covered. So I'm not going to take that one. Flow switch activity I'll do. So here you are having option of, here total 12 options are available. 3, and these are total 12 options are provided. Out of this, one option will get connected to this one. One will go for the default value, and others are available for to be used. Okay. So as we click on the flow switch option, it is asking you for the expression. So expression for me is a voices. Okay. And the type argument here integer, so I need to change the type of my variable from string to integer. And then I'll take one message box activity. So how we can, here we will take the message box activity, and I'll connect this one with the message box. Okay, you can see here automatically it is giving you option of the default. Okay, so if you don't want to make this one as a default, you can just untick this one. Now this is the option giving to you, and you can change it. As I want to make this one as a default, so just stick it here. Out of the total 12 options available, you can make only one as a default one. So default has been created, and I'll write here as the invalid choice. Okay. So again I'll take one more message box. And I'll change this case to 1. Earlier it was 0. Okay. So now it has been taken as 1. And same thing I'll write. So Sunday. Okay. We need to create 2 more cases. Okay. Change this case to 2, and the last one is for, change this one to 3. Right here as Monday, and here I'll write this one as Tuesday. Now just debug this one. So it is asking, please select the choices out of these three. Suppose firstly I have selected the 5. So you can see my default activity has been executed. Okay, so here I am getting this one as an invalid choice. Now again debug this one. Here I have entered the value as 3. So whatever I have written here in the message box in the case 3, so same has been executed. Okay, so here I am getting the output as Tuesday. So this was the flow switch activity and switch activity. Okay, next thing we have to cover is the for each activity. So the activity has been covered. For each activity, basically what it will do, it enables you to strip through the arrays, list, data tables and other types of the collection. So suppose you have some data, so it will go through, means suppose array contain 10 data, so it will go one by one. So same thing is written here, enables you to strip through the arrays, list, data tables and other types of the collection. It will basically used whenever you want to get access the data present inside some array, list or data tables, so that the user can iterating each element from the collection of items that I have already explained. Suppose you are having array of 10 data, so it will go one by one and access the data from there. Okay, so in the process it will execute all the actions that are available inside the body. Thus it iterates through the data and processes each piece of information separately. Okay, so here for each activity we will take one example. That what we will do, so simply we will read the file name from a selected folder. Suppose some folder I will take from here, suppose this PDF folder. Okay, and it contains this much total 6 files. So I want to read the name of each file from this particular folder. Okay, so how can we do so? For that I will take one flowchart activity. This one is the for each activity. Okay. And firstly to select the folder. Okay, so to select the folder we are having one activity in the UI path is the select folder activity. So here it is. Okay, so we need not to do anything. We have to simply, whenever we will debug the program, it will provide you all the option. You have to select the folder, and the folder selected will be stored in some variables. For that you have to simply create one variable here, and the variable I will create as the selected folder. Okay, so this folder has been created. Now the next step we'll use the for each activity, because this particular folder contains number of files. So I want to access the files present inside this or the present inside my selected folder. Okay, so for that I'll take the for each activity. This is present inside the control. Just double click here, and here inside this you will get for each item. You can change this variable which has already been created. You can change it or just leave this one as it is. Okay, it depends on you. Now we have one function, it's like directory dot get files. So what it will do, it will simply go inside that selected folder. Okay, and directory.get files, and here inside this you have to write the name of the folder from where you want to access the files. So this function will allow the access of the files present inside that particular folder, and after that the for each activity will simply what it will do, it will access each and every file directly. So simply directory.get files function we have used, and inside this you have to pass the folder name. Okay, so For this, we have already created one variable, select. So this same variable I have entered here, select variable, select underscore folder. Okay. So yeah, no error is there. Okay, so now inside the body part, what we have to do, I want to write the files present inside that particular folder to be written here in the output panel. So for that, I'll use the write line activity. A write line activity. Okay, and after that, here what I want to print, because all my files will get accessed one by one and stored in this particular variable. So item, so same thing I want to print item dot post. Okay, so this is done. So firstly we have taken the select folder activity to select my particular folder, and then I have taken the for each activity. Now let's debug this particular activity. So you can see this pop-up will come to select the folder. You want to read the files from which particular folder. So I want to read the files from this particular folder, this PDF folder. Okay. Now I'll see okay here. So you can see here in the output panel, all the files, total 6 files were present there. So I have got the name of each and every file which are present inside this particular folder. Okay. So this was the select folder activity and for each activity. And we have one more activity left, that is the break activity. So break activity is basically can be used only with the for each activity, and whenever break activity will come, so execution will get stopped. Okay, as its name is break, so it will break the execution after that. So suppose after the write line activity, I'll add the break activity. So the output, we need not to change anything in the property of this break activity, just simply so here we have added the break activity, and this break activity what it will do, earlier we have seen like when I executed, so I received the means I got the name of all the files present inside this particular PDF folder. Total 6 files is there, so I got all name of all the files. But now as I have added the break activity, so I'll only get the means this name of this particular activity, and the rest of activity will the rest of the names will not get displayed because the execution gets stops after that. Okay, so now I'm going to debug this one. So now again, because select folder activity, so it is asking me to select the folder. So same folder I will select this PDF folder. Okay, now click OK here. Now you can see. Now you can see from here the output panel, I have received the name of the only one particular file present inside the PDF folder, and rest of the other files are not present here. So you have to remember only one thing with the break activity, that break activity can be only used to only with the for each activity only. Okay, so that's all for today's session. I think I have covered break activity. Everything has been covered. Okay, so Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Having any doubts? If anyone having any doubts, please ask me. Okay. Thank you, everyone. So, okay. So now I'm going to end the session. Thank you very much.